untroubled, uncompromised rest. To Roland Webb, that was the goal. Mission accomplishment, in theory, meant the arrival of rest. 1,000 stressful variables set aside and forgotten because the work was finished. Not to mention the money. Trans-Earth injection completed with a climactic, teeth-rattling shake. Then, nothing. Just the industrial sounds of machinery winding down to a final, ghostly silence. It's time to rest. He had nearly 7 hours until the next scheduled burn. Plenty of time to rack out. Wrapped up in his own luxurious cocoon, Roland let his arms float outstretched in the microgravity. He could almost feel each layer of built-up tension fall away. His precious cargo, the purpose of this lunar escapade, was safe and secure next door. She'd been through hell. But, thankfully, with the burn complete, no one from Brahman would be able to catch them. Physics saw to that. Her family was happily waiting for her return down the gravity well. Just rest now. Roland's business-class suite sported a large circular window cut into the centimeter-thin pressurized structure of the ship. The immeasurable void so close at hand seemed to remind the veteran just how small he was in comparison to it all, how impossibly finite his sphere of control truly was. Everything I can do is done. He kept shedding. Rest. Let everything go. But he couldn't. Something was wrong. Just go to sleep, please. His mind had begun to flounder on the rocky shoals of recent events. Fighting back, Roland focused on breathing and calming his escalating sense of dread. Reset, like you've done 100 times before. It's over. The job's done. Roland could feel himself cascading downward into darkness. But his own memories refused to stop circling him back to Brahman's cramped corridors. Not again. Memories devoured him. Do it. Do it now. Roland pinned the guard up against the wall with his forearm. He was fully aware of how reckless this course of action was. Solo recovery of the prize. What is this, amateur hour? Yet, somehow, no matter his experience, Roland had allowed himself to act on the idea. I'm committed. It doesn't matter anymore. The guard, a Sri Lankan from the major Brahmin syndicate, had been completely blindsided. Roland, camouflaged as one of the hundreds of pedestrians packed into the market corridor, drove the man through the adjacent pressure door with all his strength. The momentum left him temporarily unbalanced, as both men collapsed and fell into the brothel's foyer. Ah, hell. They smacked hard against the aluminum flooring before immediately grappling together. Slightly disoriented, Roland kept it simple and slammed his forehead into the guard's cheekbone, cutting a red gash open, then another for good measure directly against the man's nose and mouth. He heard an audible snap. Across the room, another enforcer sat dumbfounded, watching the intertwined men while 2 Vietnamese women who had been waiting for customers recoiled against the wall. Don't move! Roland shouted at the second thug. He pushed the first guard's head away as uncontrolled bile and blood poured out of the man's mouth, a man clearly out of the fight. Don't even think about it. That Roland was covered in a light spray of crimson did more to emphasize his intentions than his foreign words. But as he untangled himself and rose to his feet, the Sri Lankan across the room finally got his act into gear. Standing, the thug went for a weapon inside his poorly fitted designer coat. The room's illumination panels shut off, blanketing the brothel in complete darkness. The safety backups, which were designed to be foolproof, refused to even shimmer. Cloud strikes again.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.